Hello people of the internet, Doom Engine FPV here, and today we are out in the testing field basically waiting to test out the ultralight 6S compatible Rotorama Samurai with the 2204 3022 kV motors, EMAX mini magnum 2 stack, and just a lot of good stuff basically. So I'm looking forward to this because I've only been able to hover test it over the last couple of weeks, and I've got the day off work today to actually do some proper flights. And I'll be using the, what batteries am I using? I'll be using the R-Line Tattoo 1300 milliamp hours 100C batteries, basically because they're the lightest ones I've got and technically the most powerful. So let's see how she flies. Right, so this is actually the first FPV maiden, simply because I haven't had a lot of time to fly it. So let's see what we can get up to. It's actually the stock Betaflight 0.4 tune. So yeah, let's see we can do. I'm a little bit nervous because I think it's going to be quite a, yeah, okay, yeah, that's just taken off and gone straight to the sky. But a bit of a screamer. Let's see what, oh, okay, the stock tune on Betaflight 0.4 seems to be doing its job. And there's not a massive amount of prop wash. It is a little bit windy out here today, so should we try it? Oh, here we go, you can draw some of it out. I think that's also the fact that I'm running the Dow prop T50 51 or 5150s, I think, I can't remember now. They're very skinny props, they're about 3.6 grams each, so I'll just wait for that car to pass by and then I'll do a nice punch out. So let's have a look. Right. Jesus. Okay, that is rapid. That's very quick. I think I had the stick on right roll deflection a little bit there, so let's try it again. Let's do another full throttle punch out. Yeah. This thing is fast. Yeah, it is so responsive and rapid. Even with the 2204s, I mean, these guys are very high kV motors. 3022 kV, even still, it just goes so fast. To see if we can do another. Yeah, a lot of hang time there. I mean, the all-up weight for this build without the battery is about 188, 189 grams. Depending on whether I run a brace on the back. It's just, yeah. Okay, Betaflight is actually feeling a lot like race flight at the moment. This tune is feeling a lot like the race flight tune I have on my other quads, which is nice, I suppose. The prop wash handling is nice. There's hardly any. I mean, I can draw it out if I want to, but when it's cruising, it seems to be quite cruising quite nice and steady. So no complaints there. And I do have the camera about 45 degrees on this little guy, just because I wanted to try and fly and get used to having a bit more of a camera angle. But yeah, it's a good, I think the build's actually been quite successful. So yeah, this battery's just about done. But we've got 4 minutes, over 4 minutes 30 seconds. We could still go for a little bit longer if I want to, but I'm just going to bring it in and just land it. I don't want to fry the battery, so if I can land it. Yeah, here we go. Cool. Whoa, it was a bit nerve-wracking because the cruising speed is so high. It just, yeah. But the advantages of having such a light craft is that you can just switch and move position so quick. It just changes direction quite quickly compared to my other builds. To put it in perspective, that one is 188-89 grams. The Talon's about 286, so there's a 100-gram difference between them, running the same batteries. You know, they're not the most powerful motors, but the fact that it's so light, it just, the thing just shoots, just disappears. It's almost a little bit difficult to keep up with it in a way, because it is so fast. And I mean, oh, the motors are cold. Nothing. The battery's a bit warm, but that's to be expected. But the motors are cold. Nothing. So that's good. We'll just go on to another battery now. I'm gonna try and get some video of it flying through the trees to give you a perspective of how fast this thing actually goes. If I can actually fly that fast through the trees, I've not tried it. So we're back from the maiden of this little animal, this beast, and it was all going well until I crashed it. Basically I got a bit too full of myself and ventured into uncharted scraggle country. So got a bit of dirt and things like that, and actually the camera's cracked, which is interesting. So the mount for the camera here is cracked. It looks like it's cracked anyway. I'm gonna have to have a closer look at that. Well, there was no damage other than the top plates here have kind of shifted, and I think that's because of the way they're mounted. So I think there needs to be another strut across there, which is basically this, which is going to end up here mounted there, which should tighten things up a bit. And that is hardly going to add any weight, probably, I don't know, half a gram or something like that. Unfortunately the antenna got ripped out, one of them anyway, so I'm going to have to replace that. But yeah, I mean it was quite a tough crash. It was a fairly hard crash, so you know, I can't really fault, you know, the craft itself, because it's not snapped any arms as far as I can see. I haven't seen any cracks. It still flies as far as I know, so yeah, it's just a case of taking this off, reinforcing it, straightening everything up, and that's it. But you know, credit where credit is due. The frame is very well designed. It's got a really clever way of slotting the arms together. The craftsmanship, you know, you can see it in the way that the actual arms and the way that they're slot together is the way they're crafted and the way they're cut. The design, I think, is quite a good idea. It's clever. I've never sort of seen this kind of design before, where you have, you know, the bolts kind of locking here and then a piece of carbon under here to sort of lock everything together. I mean, it's, in principle, it's a great frame. I'm just a little bit worried about the durability of this carbon, because as you can tell here, You know, it doesn't come with an additional strut. It comes with a red, originally it comes with a red strut, which is here. And I just like to customize things a bit, so I replaced it with a blue one, and I had a pair, so I thought, well, I'll mount that there. But I tested it without, just to see how, you know, how things are with the original setup, except for the color here, that just changed, but doesn't really do much of a difference. I think it would be beneficial for anyone purchasing this frame to actually get yourself a 20mm. I think this is 20mm. So look, is it 20mm? Where's the millimeters? 20, was it 20, yeah, it's 20mm. So it'd be additional, you know, it'd be good for you to get yourself a couple of these 20mm standoffs and stick one on the back here to reinforce it, because I think that's likely where you're going to get problems. I mean, this is where my frame is currently sort of twisted here, and the carbons come a bit loose here. There's a bit of delamination, but other than that, do you know what? It flies great. That it might be, these motors might not be the greatest choice for them because they're so high kV, but you know, they don't have a lot of torque. They have a lot of top end. But the fact that the frame is so light, all the components sort of add up to 100 and just under 190 grams, just makes it so responsive. And I think that's why this is going to be so much fun for anybody who's considering buying it. You know, and the beauty of it is that even if these motors are really meant for, you know, like a 4-inch prop, you can probably just swap the props around. And I mean, yeah, it's a 5-inch frame, but is it really going to make that much of a difference? You know, it's good quality, great design. I think in a revision, I'd like to see this made out of metal, this cage here, simply because I can see this basically breaking in a crash, in a serious crash. This will break, and these will come off where they're joined to the rest of the frame here, or they will get pushed around, and then you'll have to spend time realigning everything. So it's just one of these things. I think, you know, it's for a V1, this is a very good example of a very clever designer and engineer putting together a very good frame, I think. You know, I particularly like the free bolt mounting pattern on these arms. They're a nice design here. They're cut out to reduce a bit of weight. The V2, I think, comes with steel hardware, whilst the hardware on this one is all titanium. Just again, in their opinion, they needed to add strength to the components. I think in hindsight it would be better to actually design this out of aluminium or a titanium alloy, so that gives it, you know, maybe even make it a little bit thicker, you know, because the frame weighs 44 grams. You can afford to add another 2 or 3 grams just to make this top cage a bit stronger. But other than that, you know what, it flies great. It's great fun. I really enjoyed the 2.5 batteries I managed to fly before I crashed. I really recommend for anybody looking to build an ultralight, super fast quad, the Rotorama Samurai is a good choice, I think, especially given that in November we're getting new regulations which stipulate that all drones over 250 grams have to be registered. I would imagine that if you're a little bit creative, you could probably make a drone using this frame that weighs, I don't know, under that 250 gram mark, being creative with the battery and power supply. I think you may be able to do something if you ran it on maybe 2 or 3S. So let's see what happens. I'm going to keep on flying this and I'm going to keep on giving updates and feedback to the company. I know they're already bringing out a V2 with upgraded hardware to stainless steel and a slightly beefier setup as far as I understand. So yeah, if you're going to get one of these, get the V2. Although this one, the V1, actually does a pretty damn good job, and it's just hilariously fun to fly. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Sorry I haven't really published much in the last few months. I've been busy with work and life in general, so stay tuned for more videos. Hope you like and subscribe, and peace out. Have a nice day. Take care.